Okay, welcome back. So, as we were discussing how an HTML document is created and how certain tags can be implemented to display text in a special style. Like we have paragraphs and we have also bold italic texts. And guess what? You can also implement these bold italic text inside a paragraph. So, let's say if I have a bold text inside a paragraph, hello, my name is, and I use an italic tag to display my name, and you have this all inside the paragraph tag. Now this is not very much visible to you because all you see is a few tags and plain text, and we are not applied any styles yet. We will get there eventually. Right now let's just focus on understanding tags and how they are created. Now if you observe, all these tags, also in simple term known as HTML elements, they are enclosed in opening and closing tags. However, there could be such elements which are also created without opening or closing any tag, such as the image element. So if you have an image element, it has to be closed with a slash inside it. So that these are also known as self-enclosing tags. An image element has a source attribute. A source attribute generally points towards an image. So in our case, we do have an image in the very same folder that we created right here, inside which we have the three HTML files we created and this JPEG image which I recently downloaded. Now this is an AI generated image, so you don't need to worry about any copyrights. You can take screenshot as many as you want. Now if you see, this image has taken up nearly the entire page to display itself. That is because your HTML browser is going to display the image in whatever size it comes in. You can also restrain it by adding more attributes. Just like the source attribute, we also can add a width attribute to it. So let's say I applied a width attribute of 200 pixels. It automatically shrinks to a maximum width of 200 pixels. Now you need to be careful by providing these attributes because at the same time, if you provide a height attribute which is slightly different from its orientation, the image may look distorted. So if you are sure about the exact parameters of the image, that is the exact dimensions of it, you can mention them as it is or at least mention the same size constraint. Now I for sure know that this is a square shaped image. This means the width and the height is always going to be the same. Therefore I can use whatever sizes I want that are always equal to each other. I can also make it 300 by 300 pixels if I want, and it grows or shrinks in the document. Now, let's say there is a case that you're trying to load a website and the image content is not available, or the file may not be readable or may not be available. So, there has to be a way a user can be notified what's supposed to be over here. For that, we also have an attribute called alt. Alt is basically alternate text which is to be displayed instead of the image in case if the image is not available. So, let's say web in the sky. So I'm writing this text, web in the sky, and that is the alternate text. Let me break open this HTML element so I can read it in two lines. Yes. So right here we have alt equal to web in the sky. Now if you check out over here, that text is not visible. Now to simulate a image not being available, I'm going to change the name of the image file to something that does not exist. Now, if you see, since our web browser is not able to locate this file, or the server which is giving us this web page is not able to locate this file, it displays us this icon that there was an image over here and the alt text has been displayed. That is the purpose of alt text. Now, similar to image, we also have one beautiful tag known as the anchor tag, also known as the hyperlink tag. So the anchor tag is basically used for menus or for bookmarkings. You can always relate it to any other website. Let's say I relate this to W3C org website. When I look at it, it looks like an ordinary text, but however, this is in a different color and has an underline, which is the default styling provided to the anchor text. It also has an attribute known as href, which basically points towards a particular a location. This location could be a different website or could be a location on the same web page. We will definitely look at locations on the same web page in the future. And right now, let's point it towards a different website. So https://w3c.org is the website which refers to w3c.org. Now, if I click here, it transports me to another website. Now, since my internet connection is weak, it may not work. Let's navigate back over here. What this does is it navigates you to different page. Now we did create another HTML page, that is first.html. So I'm going to link it up with first.html. Now when I click here, it takes me to this document. If I head back, it takes me back to the original document. This is how you can write your own navigations to different web pages or to entire different websites altogether. Or you can also link it to certain files. Let's see what if I link it to the file itself. Now if I am linking it to my file, that is slash skyweb.jpg, and the text is, it directs me to a web page which is going to display nothing but this file. This is basically the file displayed all over. Now again, the problem over here is we have all these elements lined up one next to the each other. This means image and anchor text are all inline type elements, just like bold and italic. So this means these will be always displayed in the same line. Right now, to simulate them to be in a different line, we can introduce a special HTML character which is known as breakline character, that's BR. And that basically introduces a next line as if you were typing enter on the screen. See? What this does is it does not let the elements become block type elements, they remain as inline elements, but they introduce a next line character as if you were hitting enter on a text document. Alright, let's move on to the next chapter now.